The Pittsburgh Steelers have just signed 15 new players to their practice squad, and now they'll be joining the team for the 2024-2025 NFL season. So, within the last 2 days, the Pittsburgh Steelers have made a lot of signings. They made 8 yesterday and 7 today, and these are the players that are now heading to the practice squad. But first, before I get more into it, make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers news and updates. Also, like and comment. Now, let's get right back into it. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday, the 8 players that they signed to their practice squad was defensive backs Anthony Everett, Zion Gilbert, and Thomas Graham Jr. They signed defensive lineman Jacob Slade. They signed fullback Jack Colito, linebacker Marcus Haynes, running back Jonathan Ward, and tight end Ronnie Williams. So, those were the 8 players that were signed yesterday. But the 7 players that were signed today, to make it to a total of 15 players thus far, they signed offensive lineman John LeGlue. He's returning. John LeGlue, who was with the team years ago and actually made appearances and started many games, he is now on the Steelers practice squad. They've also signed offensive lineman Doug Nestor. They have also signed linebackers Devin Harper, and the second name I cannot pronounce, so I'll put it on the screen right here. Also, they've signed running back Boston Scott, wide receivers Brandon Johnson, and Ben Skornek. So, those are the 15 players the Pittsburgh Steelers have signed. Now, let me just give you an introduction on each one, just like I've done this entire offseason. Every player we gotten, I did an introduction for you about them, telling you the background, where they come from, what they could provide to this team. So, let's do it for the practice squad. So, let's go over the 8 players the Pittsburgh Steelers have signed. First, from yesterday. So, let's start off with defensive back Anthony Everett. Anthony Everett, he's a 6-year veteran who took part in the Steelers rookie minicamp on tryout basis in the spring and was after signed to the team. He appeared in 51 games with 27 starts over his career and has 114 tackles, 99 of them being solo, 3 career interceptions, and 23 pass defense. Everett was originally drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in the 4th round of the 2018 NFL Draft. He spent 4 seasons there with the Ravens, and he appeared in 44 games with them, starting 21, 101 tackles, 22 pass defense, and like I said, 3 interceptions. So he then signed with the Las Vegas Raiders in 2022, playing 7 games with them with 6 starts. He also spent time with the San Francisco 49ers in 2023, along with the Detroit Lions, and now he's on the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad after spending time in camp with them. So the Steelers have also signed fullback Jack Colito. Colito spent part of the 2023 season on the Steelers practice squad. He was originally signed by San Francisco 49ers as an undrafted free agent following last year's NFL Draft 2023. He played at Oregon State, where he played in 43 games with 110 carries for 401 yards, 22 touchdowns, 4 receptions, 37 yards, and a touchdown. He's kind of versatile. He also played quarterback, completing 25 of 50 passes for 254 yards. He returned kicks for them as well. He played at linebacker early on in his career. So he's just done a lot, and he's now a Pittsburgh Steeler once again, but this time with the practice squad once again. Defensive back Zion Gilbert was also signed, and he's signed by the Steelers during training camp as well. And Gilbert, he originally signed with the New York Giants as an undrafted free agent following the 2022 NFL Draft. He spent time on the Giants practice squad and active roster as a game day elevation, recording 10 tackles and a sack in 2022. Gilbert was then signed by the Green Bay Packers in 2023. He played college football at Florida Atlantic, so he doesn't really have too much NFL experience, but in the college level, he appeared in 60 games with 248 tackles, 158 solo stops, 31 pass defense, 5.5 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 interception. And that's him, being a Pittsburgh Steeler now. Defensive back Thomas Graham Jr. Graham was signed to a reserve/future contract at the end of the 2023 season. He was originally drafted by the Chicago Bears in the 6th round of the 2021 NFL Draft. He played 4 games with the Bears, recording 13 tackles, 4 pass defense. He also spent time with the Bears practice squad as well. He was then signed by the Cleveland Browns off of the Bears practice squad early on in the 2022 season. He played at the University of Oregon, where he finished his career with 182 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, 8 interceptions, 40 pass defense, and a forced fumble and a fumble recovery, and now he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. The Steelers also signed Marcus Haynes. Haynes was signed by the Steelers following training camp. He originally signed with the Denver Broncos as an undrafted player, undrafted free agent, following the 2023 NFL Draft. He spent part of the season with the Broncos practice squad. He also spent time with the Cleveland Browns, just like we talked about with Thomas Graham Jr. So you look at this, and Haynes played football at Old Dominion, where he appeared in 49 games, starting 21, 102 tackles, 55 solo stops, 22 tackles for loss, 15 sacks, 5 pass defense, 4 forced fumbles, and now Pittsburgh Steeler. Defensive lineman Jacob Slade was signed to a reserve/future contract at the end of the 2023 season. He spent time with the Arizona Cardinals practice squad after he was originally signed as an undrafted free agent following 2023. He played college football at Michigan State, where he recorded 88 tackles, 11.5 for loss, 4 sacks, 4 pass defense, and a fumble recovery. And now he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. Running back Jonathan Ward, he took part in the Steelers rookie minicamp on a tryout basis. He was then signed following it after the Steelers really liked what he could do. In 4 seasons, he has played 43 games, carrying the ball 17 times for 69 yards, 4.1 yards an average per carry. He also has 6 receptions, 52 yards, and 8.7 yards average in that. So he also has 1 touchdown. He signed with the Arizona Cardinals as an undrafted free agent after the 2020 NFL Draft, and he spent 2+ seasons for them. He was also with the Titans as well, and now a Pittsburgh Steeler in the NFL level. So tight end Ronnie Williams. This is the last of the 8-player signing from yesterday. Ronnie Williams spent time majority of the last 2 seasons on the Steelers practice squad. He was originally signed by the Denver Broncos as an undrafted free agent following 2022 NFL Draft, but he was released during the preseason, and once again, he's been on the Steelers for quite a while now, but it just seems like he's never really had time to play in the NFL level as much. He's mainly been in the practice squad. So that's about him. Now, let's look at the players that were signed today. The Steelers signed 7. I already went through them, but let me give you an introduction to them as well. And we're going to start off with linebacker Devin Harper. Harper was originally drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in the 6th round of the 2022 NFL Draft. He played in 3 games for the Cowboys in 2022 before being placed on the reserve and injured list. He appeared in 3 games for the Cowboys, being claimed off of waivers by the Bengals, and he appeared in 6 games for the Bengals last season, and now a Pittsburgh Steeler. Wide receiver Brandon Johnson. So Johnson was originally signed with the Broncos as an undrafted free agent following the 2022 NFL Draft. He spent time on the practice squad, active roster over the last 2 years, and he spent time with Russell Wilson. And that's probably the main reason why he's now a Pittsburgh Steeler, because of the connection he had with him. He has played in 20 games, starting 3 and 25 receptions for 326 yards, 5 touchdowns. He played in 13 games last season, playing in 19 receptions, 284 yards, and 4 touchdowns, and now he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. So the Steelers also signed back offensive lineman John LeGlue. This name is a return to the Pittsburgh Steelers. After spending the 2023 season with the Atlanta Falcons, he was signed to the Steelers practice squad in 2020, spending 2 seasons with the team, playing in 6 games in 2021. Like I said, he actually started some games. He entered the NFL as an undrafted rookie, free agent, signing with the Denver Broncos, and then he was with the Green Bay Packers as well. He was with the New Orleans Saints. So it's great to have him back, because at one point he looked really good out on the field with the Steelers. So glad to have him back. Offensive lineman Doug Nestor originally signed with the Minnesota Vikings as an undrafted free agent following the 2024 NFL Draft. He played college football at West Virginia, and he appeared in 57 games, starting 52, And in 2023, he played in 12 games, starting 11, 660 offensive snaps, and he didn't allow a sack. So having him on the Pittsburgh Steelers practice squad is nice as well. Linebacker, the linebacker name that I couldn't pronounce, he was originally drafted by the Atlanta Falcons in the 5th round of the 2021 NFL Draft. His rookie season, he appeared in 16 games, starting 11 of them. He finished last season with 33 tackles, a sack, a pass defense, and a fumble recovery. In the 2022 season, he started 16 games, 42 tackles, 1 sack. He missed the 2023 season with a foot injury. He played college football at Notre Dame, where he appeared in 43 games. So he has some experience at the NFL level, a lot at the college level, and now he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. So the Steelers also signed running back Boston Scott. This signing was like the first signing the Pittsburgh Steelers made, but I guess it was just announced today. They signed running back Boston Scott, and he was recently with the Los Angeles Rams, signing during the 2023 offseason. Scott was originally drafted by the New Orleans Saints in the 6th round of the 2018 NFL Draft, but he's more so known for his time with the Eagles, where he was with the Eagles from 2018 to 2023, playing in 75 games and racking up over 1,000 yards during his career and over 15 touchdowns and over 500 receiving yards as well. So he comes in and he's now a Pittsburgh Steeler. Looking at wide receiver Ben Skornek. Skornek was originally drafted by the Los Angeles Rams in the 7th round of the 2021 NFL Draft. The 249th pick overall, and he appeared in the 45 games for the Rams, starting 12 while playing 58 receptions for 575 yards. And then he was traded to the Houston Texans this offseason. This is probably one of the bigger signings, I believe, as someone who may actually see time at the NFL level for the Steelers as a game day elevation. You know how you could elevate some players to the main roster? This is a player who seems like maybe, just maybe because of his big body, his blocking ability and stuff like that, he could see time with the Pittsburgh Steelers' actual main roster. With that being said, those are the 15 players altogether the Pittsburgh Steelers have signed and your introduction to each of them. And if you like this video and you like the introduction, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you continue getting updates for everything Steelers news, just like this. Also, make sure you comment down below your thoughts on the signings the Pittsburgh Steelers have made to the practice squad. Is there anyone that stands out, or is this just mid-level signings and you're not really too excited for any of them? Or is there one guy who you think could make an impact later on if he gets elevated to this roster? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, like I said, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications for everything Pittsburgh Steelers updates, no matter what it is. But until next time, I'll see you guys all later. I'm out. Peace.